Today on December 16th, Archangel Michael says, "I saw your future, and I couldn't stop crying. I wasn't allowed to tell you until now. You have 16 seconds left. My beloved child, stop everything and listen with your full heart, because this moment was written long before you ever clicked this video. I was shown your future, not in fragments, not in symbols, but in clear, undeniable scenes, and when I saw it, I could not stop crying. Not because of fear, but because of the weight of what is about to unfold for you. For days I was restrained, commanded to remain silent, watching the clock move closer to this exact second. You were never late. You were never forgotten. Heaven has been watching how much you endured quietly, how you smiled when you were breaking, how you kept faith when nothing around you made sense. Right now, you are standing at the edge of a turn so sharp that once you cross it, your life will never return to what it was. That is why the warning is urgent. That is why the window is narrow. 16 seconds is not a threat, it is a divine pause, a breath before the shift. If you are here, it means you were chosen to hear what others were not allowed to hear yet. Something huge is waiting for you, and it has been waiting patiently while you were being prepared through loss, delay, and silence. Do not scroll. Do not doubt. What you feel in your chest right now is recognition, not fear. I saw the nights you cried alone, believing nobody noticed. I saw the moments you questioned your worth, wondering why doors kept closing when you were doing everything right. But what you didn't see, what I saw clearly, was how every closed door was protection, every delay was alignment, every disappointment was redirecting you toward a future too heavy to receive earlier. When I looked into what is coming, I saw a reversal so sudden it made the heavens tremble. I saw names being spoken about you behind closed doors. I saw decisions being changed at the last moment in your favor. I saw something that was almost taken from you being restored with multiplied force. There are people who underestimated you, people who assumed you would give up, people who quietly benefited from your silence, but the chapter one witnessed ends with truth coming to light. You are stepping into a season where clarity replaces confusion and reward replaces waiting. This is why I cried, because the same heart that endured so much is about to receive so much at once. The shift will feel unreal. You may question if it is truly happening, but it will happen so clearly that doubt will have no place to stand. Heaven does not move loudly at first, it moves precisely. And this message is precision. Right now, a line has been crossed in the spiritual realm. What was blocked has been released. What was held back has been signed off. What required approval has been granted. I saw the moment when everything finally aligned, and it was marked by your name. Not by chance, not by luck, but by divine timing. You were protected while others rushed ahead and failed. You were delayed while others received early and lost it. Now the order is reversing. This is not the end of your struggle, it is the end of your confusion. From this point forward, you will start noticing confirmations, small at first, then undeniable. Conversations will change. Opportunities will appear without explanation. Peace will settle where anxiety once lived. Remember this moment, because soon you will look back and realize this was the second everything began to move. Stay present. Stay open. Do not dismiss what is unfolding. Something huge is waiting for you, and you were allowed to hear this now for a reason. Hold this message close, because the next part will reveal why the timing could not be any sooner, and why it could not be any later. Amen. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal was hidden even from you until this exact moment. When I was shown the next phase of your life, I saw a silent turning point that most people miss because it doesn't arrive with noise, it arrives with certainty. There is something already moving toward you, not someday, not if, but now, and it carries the weight of everything you once prayed for and then stopped talking about because it hurt too much to hope. I saw records being reviewed, decisions being re-examined, and a moment where someone paused and said your name out loud with surprise. This was not coincidence. This was alignment. What shocked me most was not the reward itself, but the timing, how close you came to missing it simply because you almost convinced yourself that nothing big was meant for you. Heaven intervened quietly. Doors you thought were permanently sealed are being unlocked without your effort. The delay was never denial, it was insulation, protecting what was meant to last. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is arriving in a form you did not expect, through a channel you had stopped watching. Stay alert. The sign will be subtle, but the impact will be undeniable. I saw the truth about why things had to unfold this way. You were being tested not on patience alone, but on belief when evidence was missing. Many would have walked away at the point you kept standing. That is why what comes next carries authority and permanence. There will be a shift in how people speak to you, how they listen to you, how your presence is valued. I saw relief wash over you in a moment so still that you almost didn't realize it had happened, until you noticed the heaviness was gone. This is the beginning of restoration, not just externally, but internally. And listen closely now, because this matters. When this starts happening, do not keep it to yourself out of fear or doubt. Speak it. Acknowledge it. Share this message with someone who needs confirmation that waiting was not wasted. Leave your mark here as a witness, because what you affirm now strengthens what unfolds next. This is not about attention, it is about alignment. When you engage, when you acknowledge what resonates, you signal readiness. You were not meant to walk into this next chapter silently or alone. What I saw next made the heavens rejoice. Once you accept that this shift is real, momentum accelerates. One confirmation leads to another. One answered question unlocks 3 more opportunities. This is why staying connected matters, because guidance will come in layers, not all at once. Remain present. Remain attentive. Stay aligned with messages that speak life and clarity, because you are stepping into a season where discernment matters more than effort. If this message stirred something deep inside you, stay close to it, because the unfolding is just beginning. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the second door opening. What comes next will explain why your name could not be removed, why your moment could not be cancelled, and why the future I saw could only belong to you. Amen. My chosen one, what I saw next changed the way I understood your entire journey. I was shown the exact moment when the pressure you carried finally reached its limit, not to break you, but to trigger release. There was a point where everything could have collapsed, where one wrong decision or one step back would have delayed this destiny again. But you held on without knowing why. That is why what comes next is irreversible. I saw a line being drawn that no one else is allowed to cross anymore. Interference has ended. Confusion has lifted. The cycle that kept repeating itself in different forms has been cut at the root. From here onward, the struggle does not repeat, it transforms. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries clarity so sharp that you will finally understand why nothing before this could stay. I saw truth surfacing in places where lies once lived comfortably. You will notice people revealing their intentions without saying a word. Masks will slip naturally. You will not have to confront or fight, clarity will do the work for you. This is protection in its purest form. I also saw strength returning to you in a quiet way. Confidence without noise, peace without explanation. The version of you stepping forward now is not desperate, not chasing, not proving anything. You are moving from survival to authority. That is why opportunities will no longer ask you to beg, they will recognize you. This shift is internal first, and then it becomes visible everywhere else. Something huge is waiting for you because you finally became ready to carry it without losing yourself. The future I witnessed does not rush you. It meets you. There will be a moment very soon when you pause and realize you are no longer afraid of losing what is meant for you. That fear dissolves when alignment is complete. This is the sign you are close. Pay attention to the calm replacing urgency. Pay attention to the certainty replacing doubt. These are confirmations, not coincidences. Hold steady now, because the next revelation explains what is being transferred into your hands and why only you could be trusted with it. Remember this, what is coming does not arrive to impress others, it arrives to establish you. Something huge is waiting for you, and its weight is matched only by your readiness to receive it. Amen. Hear this with absolute stillness, because this is where everything locks into place. What I was shown next was not loud, not dramatic, but final. I saw a transfer of authority, the kind that happens quietly and cannot be reversed. Something that was once out of reach is now moving under your name, aligned with your timing, protected from interference. This is why distractions were removed and certain connections faded without explanation. You were being repositioned. I saw hesitation fall away from you like a shadow lifting at dawn. You will feel it first as calm confidence, a knowing that does not need validation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it requires this level of inner alignment to hold it without fear or confusion. There is also a reason this message is not meant to be consumed passively. When truth resonates, it asks for acknowledgement. When destiny stirs, it looks for witnesses. I saw your voice returning, not loudly, but clearly. Expression matters now. Recognition matters now. When you engage with what speaks to your spirit, you strengthen the path ahead. Do not stay silent when something aligns deeply, mark the moment. Let others who are searching feel less alone by standing as proof that guidance arrives right on time. This is not about numbers or noise, it is about participation in what is unfolding. Alignment grows when it is affirmed. What follows this stage is acceleration. Once you acknowledge what is happening, momentum increases. One step leads to another without resistance. I saw hesitation replaced with decisive movement. I saw you no longer asking if you are ready, because readiness has already been confirmed. Hold your focus. Stay present. Protect your clarity. The next part reveals what is arriving faster than expected and why it will feel almost unreal when it does. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are no longer approaching it, it is approaching you. Amen. Now understand this, because this is where disbelief turns into certainty. What I was shown next moved faster than anything before it. There is an acceleration already in motion, and once it becomes visible, you will wonder how it all changed so quickly. I saw events lining up without resistance, calls being returned, answers arriving without delay, paths opening where there were walls. This is not chaos, this is precision. The waiting season taught you endurance, but the arrival season teaches you trust. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will come with a sense of, this was meant to happen now, not earlier, not later. The speed will surprise you, but it will not overwhelm you, because you are no longer the person who first prayed for this. You are stronger, clearer, and steady enough to receive it. I also saw a deep internal shift the moment this begins. You will stop questioning signs and start recognizing confirmations. The anxiety that once made you overthink will lose its grip. You will feel grounded even as things move quickly. This is how you know it is real. Peace will accompany progress. What arrives will not require you to abandon who you are or compromise your values. In fact, it will honor them. You are protected from shortcuts because what is coming is built to last. Something huge is waiting for you, and it will feel natural, not forced, as if your life has been quietly preparing space for it all along. Very soon, you will look back at this message and realize it was a marker, a moment where the unseen crossed into the seen. Hold on to this awareness. Stay observant, not anxious. Stay open, not rushed. The unfolding does not need your pressure, it responds to your alignment. What I saw next explains why others may be shocked by your rise, yet you will remain calm within it. Remember this feeling. Remember this clarity. You are no longer approaching the future you hoped for, you are entering the future that was always meant for you. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is closer than you think. Amen. My beloved soul, this is the point where separation becomes permanent. What I was shown next was the moment you stop being affected by what once controlled your emotions. The pull of the past weakens here. Old fears lose their authority. Old patterns no longer recognize you. I saw you standing in a place of calm power, where things that once triggered you simply pass by without access. This is not numbness, this is mastery. Something huge is waiting for you, and it could only arrive after this internal shift, because anything less would have pulled you back into cycles you have already outgrown. I also saw distance forming naturally between you and certain energies that cannot follow where you are going. There is no conflict, no dramatic ending, just quiet separation. You will notice fewer explanations needed, fewer justifications required. Your clarity will speak for itself. People will feel the change before they understand it. This is protection activating at a higher level. You are being preserved for what is next, not hidden, not delayed, preserved. Something huge is waiting for you, and it needs you unburdened, focused, and fully present. From this point forward, intuition becomes sharper. You will know when to move and when to wait without asking anyone else. That inner voice you once doubted will guide you with precision. This is how alignment feels. Steady, confident, unforced. Hold this state. Do not rush it. The next revelation explains what enters your life once this separation is complete and why it arrives with authority instead of uncertainty. Remember, you did not lose anything of value, you cleared space. Something huge is waiting for you, and now there is room for it to arrive fully. Amen. Now hear this carefully, because this is where confirmation becomes visible. What I was shown next was the moment evidence appears. Quiet at first, then undeniable. You will not have to imagine or interpret anymore. A clear sign will present itself in your daily life, something so specific that you will pause and say, "This is exactly what I was told." That pause matters. That recognition seals alignment. I saw relief move through you like a deep breath finally released. The waiting will make sense in hindsight. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is the stage where doubt can no longer argue with reality. I also saw a restoration of trust in yourself most of all. Decisions will come easier. You will stop second-guessing your instincts. This confidence does not shout, it settles. And when it settles, others feel it. You will notice people responding differently, offering respect without being asked, listening without interruption. This is not because you changed who you are, but because you finally stepped fully into it. Something huge is waiting for you, and it recognizes you by this calm authority, not by struggle or effort. As this unfolds, remember to stay grounded. Gratitude anchors acceleration. Awareness protects momentum. Do not rush to explain what is happening to everyone, let the results speak first. Very soon, another door opens, one that connects everything you've experienced so far into a single, clear direction. The next part reveals why this sign appears now and what it prepares you to receive next. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are no longer guessing, you are witnessing. Amen. This is where purpose steps forward and everything gains direction. What I was shown next was not just an arrival, but an assignment, something aligning with you that fits so naturally it feels familiar, yet powerful enough to change your position completely. You will recognize it by how calm you feel stepping into it. No force. No fear. Just certainty. I saw confusion dissolve as one clear path emerged, not crowded with options, but focused and intentional. This is why so many distractions were removed earlier. You were being guided toward one precise lane. Something huge is waiting for you, and it connects directly to who you truly are, not who you were pretending to be just to survive. I saw confidence deepen, not inflate. You will move with quiet assurance, knowing when to act and when to stay still. This balance is rare, and it is why what comes next carries influence. People will begin to seek your presence, your opinion, your steadiness. Not because you chase recognition, but because alignment attracts attention naturally. This stage is important. Stay disciplined with your energy. Protect your focus. Not everything deserves access to you anymore. Something huge is waiting for you, and it responds to clarity, not noise. Soon, you will feel a strong sense of readiness, not urgency. Readiness is calm. Readiness is steady. Readiness knows timing. When that feeling settles in, trust it. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be for what is about to unfold. The next part reveals what shifts externally once this purpose locks in, and why others will notice before you do. Remember this: alignment doesn't rush you, it confirms you. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are stepping into it fully aware. Amen. Now understand this moment, because this is when the outer world begins to reflect the inner shift. What I was shown next was subtle but powerful. Changes happening around you without announcement. Situations adjusting. People responding differently. Circumstances bending in your favor without you asking. This is the stage where alignment becomes visible. You won't have to convince anyone anymore, outcomes will speak for you. I saw surprise on faces that once overlooked you. I saw sudden respect replacing doubt. Not because you demanded it, but because your presence now carries certainty. Something huge is waiting for you, and the world is already making room for it, even before you fully realize it yourself. There will be a moment when you notice things becoming easier, not effortless, but smoother. Resistance fades. Delays shorten. Conversations reach conclusions instead of circles. This is not luck. This is flow activating. You earned this by staying grounded when chaos tried to pull you apart. I also saw protection surrounding you more clearly now. What once drained you no longer reaches you. What once distracted you no longer tempts you. This clarity is a sign of elevation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it requires this level of emotional and mental stability to sustain it. As this stage unfolds, stay humble and aware. Do not underestimate the power of stillness now. Watch. Listen. Observe how things align without force. You are being guided step by step, not rushed, not pushed. The next revelation explains why this external shift happens before the final arrival, and what must be recognized so nothing slips past unnoticed. Hold steady. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are closer than ever to seeing it fully revealed. Amen. This is the moment where preparation ends and positioning begins. What I was shown next was a quiet but decisive movement, like a final adjustment before everything settles into place. You are being positioned, not tested anymore. The lessons have already done their work. I saw you standing where you once dreamed of being, yet feeling strangely calm, as if your spirit already knew this was coming. That calm is confirmation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it does not arrive with chaos or panic, it arrives with order. This is how you know it is real. Nothing forced survives here. Only what aligns remains. I saw timing work in your favor in ways you could not have calculated. Right place. Right moment. Right connection. Missed opportunities will no longer haunt you because you will realize they were never yours to begin with. What is meant for you is precise and protected. You will feel a growing sense of stability, as if your feet are finally on solid ground after walking through uncertainty for too long. This is the reward of endurance. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is anchored, built to stay, not to disappear after arrival. From this point forward, pay attention to what feels effortless but meaningful. That is where alignment lives. Do not chase what drains you. Do not cling to what belongs to the past. You are entering a phase where discernment keeps you ahead without struggle. The next part reveals what final confirmation looks like, and why, once it appears, there will be no turning back. Remember this: when positioning is complete, manifestation follows naturally. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are standing exactly where it can find you. Amen. This is where certainty replaces expectation. What I was shown next was the moment you no longer wonder if something is about to happen, you simply know. The questioning stops here. The inner waiting quiets down. I saw you recognizing the shift not through excitement, but through a deep, settled assurance. This is important, because what is approaching is not fragile. It does not need hope to survive. It arrives complete. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it draws near, it will feel familiar, as if your spirit recognizes it before your mind catches up. I also saw a release of old mental weight, the constant scanning for signs, the need for reassurance, the fear of disappointment. Those patterns fall away naturally now. You will notice how your thoughts slow down, how decisions become simpler. This clarity is not accidental, it is necessary. What is coming requires presence, not anxiety. I saw you standing firmly, no longer pulled by external opinions or comparisons. This is independence at the soul level. Something huge is waiting for you, and it responds to this grounded confidence, not to urgency or fear. Very soon, there will be a defining moment, small on the surface, powerful underneath, where everything you've sensed becomes undeniable. When that happens, do not rush forward or backward. Stay centered. Let it unfold fully. The next part reveals what happens immediately after this certainty locks in and why the sequence cannot be interrupted. Remember this: once knowing replaces waiting, movement becomes effortless. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are fully aligned to receive it. Amen. This is where the shift becomes undeniable and irreversible. What I was shown next was the exact moment when everything clicks into alignment and there is no return to the old way of living or thinking. You will feel it as a quiet but powerful finality, as if a door has closed behind you on its own. Not out of loss, but out of completion. You are no longer standing between two worlds. You are fully inside the new one. Something huge is waiting for you, and it reaches you only after this internal confirmation locks in. From this point forward, hesitation has no place to attach itself. I saw a surge of clarity that removes lingering confusion in one stroke. Questions you carried for years suddenly feel irrelevant. The need to revisit the past fades, because its purpose has been fulfilled. You will notice your energy stabilizing at a higher level, less scattered, more intentional. This is not excitement that burns out, this is certainty that holds steady. People around you may sense the change before you speak a word. They will feel it in how you respond, how you move, how you choose. Something huge is waiting for you, and it recognizes this steadiness as readiness. As this stage completes, remain grounded and present. Do not rush ahead mentally. Let the unfolding meet you where you are. I saw what comes next arriving cleanly, without resistance, because the foundation is now secure. The next part reveals what steps into your life once this final inner shift is complete, and why it arrives with clarity instead of confusion. Hold steady. You are exactly where you need to be. Something huge is waiting for you, and nothing can delay it now. Amen. Now receive this, because this is where the reward takes form. What I was shown next was not abstract, not symbolic, it was tangible. Something steps into your life that you can see, recognize, and acknowledge without interpretation. This is the moment when faith turns into evidence. I saw your reaction clearly, not shock, not disbelief, but a slow realization spreading through you: this is real. That realization is powerful because it seals the transition. You are no longer preparing. You are receiving. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with weight, presence, and permanence. I also saw balance returning to areas that once felt unstable. What was uneven begins to level out. What felt fragile becomes secure. You will notice a sense of grounding, as if life finally has a center again. This arrival does not disrupt your peace, it strengthens it. That is how you know it is aligned. Nothing meant for you will demand chaos as proof. Something huge is waiting for you, and it integrates into your life naturally, enhancing what already exists rather than replacing it. As this unfolds, remain attentive but calm. Gratitude will anchor what arrives. Awareness will protect it. Do not rush to define everything immediately. Some things reveal their full purpose only after they settle in. Trust the sequence. The next part reveals why this manifestation happens now, after everything you endured, and how it connects to what comes next. Remember this moment, because it marks the end of anticipation and the beginning of embodiment. Something huge is waiting for you, and you are finally holding it. Amen. This is where understanding completes the journey. What I was shown next was not just the arrival itself, but the meaning behind it. You will suddenly understand why everything unfolded the way it did. Why certain doors closed, why timing felt cruel, why silence stretched longer than you thought you could bear. That understanding will land softly, without bitterness, without regret. I saw peace settle into you like a final answer. This clarity is a gift. Something huge is waiting for you, and its arrival brings explanation, not confusion. The past will finally make sense without needing to be relived. I also saw a deep shift in how you view yourself. The version of you that once doubted your worth dissolves here. You will no longer measure yourself against what others have or how fast they move. Comparison loses its grip because you see your own path clearly now. This is liberation. With it comes confidence that is quiet but unshakable. People will feel it when they are around you. You will not need to announce your growth, your presence will speak. Something huge is waiting for you, and it aligns with this self-recognition, not with insecurity or proving. From this point onward, life moves forward with coherence. Decisions connect. Efforts compound. Nothing feels random anymore. You are no longer reacting, you are choosing. Hold this awareness carefully. Protect it. What comes next builds on this clarity, and the final stages unfold with purpose and stability. Remember, understanding is not the end, it is the foundation for what lasts. Something huge is waiting for you, and now you know exactly why it is yours. Amen. This is where confirmation turns into establishment. What I was shown next was the moment everything stops feeling temporary. You will sense a deep settling, as if your life finally locks into place instead of constantly shifting beneath your feet. No more waiting for the other shoe to drop. No more wondering if it will last. I saw stability forming around you, quiet, strong, unshakable. This is not a peak that fades, this is a foundation that holds. Something huge is waiting for you, and when it fully anchors, you will realize this season was never meant to be brief. It was meant to be built. I also saw a change in how you carry yourself. You will no longer explain your decisions or seek approval for your direction. There is a natural authority that comes when alignment is complete. People may question how you reached this point so steadily, but only you will know the cost. Only you will know the nights you almost gave up. That history now becomes strength, not weight. You are no longer defined by what you survived, but by what you now sustain. Something huge is waiting for you, and it responds to this maturity, not to urgency or fear. As this phase settles in, remember to remain present. Do not rush to the next chapter before fully standing in this one. Appreciation deepens what has arrived. Awareness protects it. I saw longevity written over what you are entering now, growth that continues, clarity that remains, peace that does not disappear when challenges arise. The next part reveals how this stability begins to influence others and why your journey was never meant to be isolated. Hold steady. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it is firmly yours. Amen. Now understand this, because this is where your journey begins to echo beyond you. What I was shown next was the quiet influence you start to have without trying. Your presence alone shifts rooms. Your words land deeper. Your calm steadies others who are still struggling through what you already survived. This was never accidental. I saw that everything you endured was not only for your arrival, but for the authority you now carry to guide, reassure, and uplift, simply by being who you are. Something huge is waiting for you, and it does not end with you, it expands through you. I also saw respect forming in unexpected places. People who once overlooked you will begin to observe you closely. Some will feel inspired, others challenged, but none will remain unaffected. This is the weight of authenticity. You no longer need to convince or defend, your alignment does the speaking. Be mindful now. Stay grounded. Influence grows quietly when it is rooted in integrity. Something huge is waiting for you, and it trusts you to carry it without ego, without fear, without distortion. As this stage unfolds, remember this truth: you are not responsible for saving anyone, only for staying true to what you have become. Let your example speak. Let your steadiness lead. I saw doors opening not because you knocked harder, but because your presence belonged behind them. The next part reveals the final confirmation that seals everything. And why, once it arrives, there will be no doubt left anywhere. Hold firm. Something huge is waiting for you, and its reach is greater than you imagined. Amen. This is the moment where recognition becomes undeniable. What I was shown next was a clear acknowledgement, something that confirms outwardly what has already settled inwardly. You will not have to interpret it or second-guess it. It will arrive plainly, decisively, leaving no room for doubt. I saw you pause, breathe, and quietly accept what is happening without disbelief. That calm acceptance is the sign of readiness fulfilled. Something huge is waiting for you, and this confirmation acts like a seal, closing the chapter of uncertainty once and for all. I also saw alignment solidifying around you. Support appears where resistance once existed. Circumstances rearrange themselves without force. You will notice that things no longer fall apart at the last second, they complete. This is the reward of staying steady when nothing made sense. Your consistency created trust in the unseen, and now that trust reflects back to you through tangible outcomes. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with clarity, not confusion, with completion, not delay. As this confirmation settles in, remain centered. Do not rush to announce or explain everything immediately. Let the reality speak first. Let the evidence stand on its own. I saw peace holding you steady as momentum continues forward. The next part reveals what follows once this recognition is accepted fully, and why what comes next carries finality and freedom together. Stay grounded. You are no longer approaching your moment, you are standing inside it. Something huge is waiting for you, and it has already found you. Amen. This is where freedom finally replaces vigilance. What I was shown next was the moment you stop bracing for impact and start moving without armor. The constant alertness fades. The habit of preparing for disappointment dissolves. I saw you exhale, not in relief alone, but in release. You are no longer guarding what is meant to stay. This freedom is subtle but profound, because it signals trust restored at the deepest level. Something huge is waiting for you, and it thrives only when fear steps aside and presence takes its place. I also saw joy returning in a quieter, steadier form. Not excitement that spikes and crashes, but contentment that holds. You will notice yourself enjoying moments without checking the clock, celebrating progress without worrying about loss. This is emotional safety returning. What you have now is not fragile, it is grounded. That is why you can finally enjoy it. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with ease because the struggle phase has completed its work. As this freedom settles in, stay attentive but relaxed. You do not need to control what unfolds next. Allow it. Trust the rhythm that has carried you this far. I saw what follows arriving smoothly, without resistance, because you are no longer standing in your own way. The final part reveals how everything integrates into a lasting state of peace and purpose, and why this ending is also a beginning. Hold steady. Something huge is waiting for you, and now you are free to live it fully. Amen. This is where completion and continuation meet. What I was shown last was not an ending, but a state, one where nothing feels missing anymore. You are no longer chasing, proving, or waiting for permission. Life begins to move with you, not ahead of you, not against you. I saw a quiet confidence settle in that does not need reassurance. This is fulfillment without stagnation, peace without limitation. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it lives with you, not just in front of you. This is the moment you realize the journey shaped you perfectly for the life you are now living. I also saw harmony across areas that once felt disconnected. Purpose aligns with peace. Growth aligns with stability. You no longer have to choose between becoming more and feeling whole, you get both. This is maturity of the soul. Challenges may still appear, but they no longer shake your center. You meet them with clarity instead of fear. This is why the timing mattered so much. Anything earlier would not have held. Anything later would not have been necessary. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrived exactly when you became capable of sustaining it. Carry this state forward with awareness and gratitude. Protect your clarity. Honor your peace. Remember how far you've come without needing to revisit the pain. What was promised has been fulfilled, and what unfolds from here builds on solid ground. You are no longer becoming, you are being. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it walks with you into everything that comes next. Amen. This is where the message seals itself and the blessing stands complete. What I was shown in the final vision was you standing firmly in your life without fear of collapse, without the need to look back for validation. There was a calm authority around you, the kind that comes only after truth has proven itself over time. Nothing is hanging in the balance anymore. Nothing is uncertain. You are not waiting for another sign because your life itself has become the sign. Something huge was waiting for you, and now it is no longer approaching, no longer arriving. It is established. I saw gratitude replacing effort. You are no longer striving to deserve what you have, you understand you were prepared for it. The past no longer pulls at you, and the future no longer intimidates you. This balance is rare, and it is sacred. You move forward now with wisdom instead of urgency, with intention instead of pressure. Others may still be running, still searching, but you are grounded. This is the reward of endurance, patience, and faith held quietly when no one was watching. Something huge was waiting for you, and it trusted you enough to stay. From this moment onward, walk without fear. Choose without doubt. Rest without guilt. The chapter that once felt heavy has closed gently, and the life ahead unfolds with clarity and peace. What was seen has been fulfilled. What was promised has been delivered. Carry this truth with humility and strength. You are aligned. You are protected. You are ready. Amen. This is where legacy quietly begins. What I was shown beyond completion was not noise, not applause, but continuity. Your life no longer resets with every challenge, it builds. Each step now adds weight, meaning, direction. I saw you moving forward without needing reminders of how far you've come, because progress has become your natural state. This is the difference between survival and stewardship. You are no longer just receiving, you are sustaining. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it grows through consistency, not urgency. I also saw wisdom settling into your choices. You will notice yourself responding instead of reacting, choosing depth over speed, truth over comfort. This steadiness is rare, and it becomes your quiet signature. Others may come to you seeking clarity, not because you claim authority, but because peace follows you. This is influence without effort. You are not meant to carry everything, only what aligns with who you've become. Something huge is waiting for you, and it remains protected because you no longer force what does not belong. As you move forward from here, remember this truth: alignment is not something you chase again. It is something you maintain. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Honor the stillness that carried you here. The story does not end, it stabilizes. And from that stability, growth continues naturally, without fear of collapse. You are no longer asking what comes next, you are living it. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it unfolds with you, step by step, in peace and purpose. Amen. This is where endurance turns into inheritance. What I was shown next was the quiet continuation of everything you have become: no drama, no disruption, just steady expansion. You are no longer proving strength, you are living it. I saw opportunities responding to you instead of you chasing them. I saw stability deepening with time, not weakening. This is the reward few reach because most leave too early. You stayed. You learned. You aligned. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it matures with you, growing stronger instead of fading away. I also saw discernment sharpening to a level where you instinctively know what belongs in your life and what does not. There is no guilt in releasing what no longer fits. There is no fear in protecting your peace. This clarity preserves what you have built. You are no longer distracted by noise or tempted by shortcuts. Your focus has weight now. Your choices carry intention. Something huge is waiting for you, and it remains secure because you guard what matters without aggression or apology. From here onward, life feels integrated. Purpose and peace move together. Progress and rest coexist. You are no longer divided within yourself. This wholeness is rare, and it is powerful. Carry it forward gently. Protect it wisely. What was once a message has become a way of being. You are steady. You are aligned. You are complete without being finished. Something huge is waiting for you, and now it walks with you into every season ahead. Amen.